Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this TERUNSOUL dual channel 4K dash camera. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. We have some features listed on the back here. So let's get this open. It has a note here. It says before starting use, remove the sticker from the lens. So here we have the front facing camera. So the sticker here talks about what the different parts are. So this is the Type-C port to power it, and this is the SD card slot. See what we have in there. So it comes with a 128 gig card. So I'll peel that off. Here we have the screen. It also has a cover on the lens. We'll peel that off too. Let's pull this out here. So this is our rear camera. So this has a cover on the lens. So this is for the adhesive to stick it to your rear windshield, and this will rotate around. So let's pull this out. It says start by downloading the TERUNSOUL app. Everything else you need to know is inside the envelope. So we have a button guide. You can pause and read through that. On the back it talks about doing an over-the-air upgrade. Comes with stickers you can place on your window. This talks about installing it in your car. So it has a mount that's going to clip onto the camera. The Type-C cord will go to the power supply and the other will go to the rear camera. It has a suction cup in the front. And then it has the adhesive pad for the back. This talks about hiding the cable, so you can hide it in the trim. Of course, that's going to be different for each car. This talks about everything else. So we have indicator lights. This talks about what comes in the box. And we have the user manual. So this is going to show the different buttons and such and how to use the device. Let's pull this out. So here's the rear camera cable. It's just a large USB-C cable. Here's the power cable. So this plugs into the 12-volt socket in your car. Output on it is 5 volts at 3 amps. This does come with a USB port, so you could plug in something like a phone charger. So if you're using your socket up for a phone charger, this can also act as that. And that has USB. We have a cleaning cloth, a little pry tool. This is a piece of film. I'm guessing you put that on your rear windshield before you put the camera down. Here's some little self-adhesive cable clamps. Second piece of adhesive for the rear camera. Here we have the suction cup clamp. And it looks like there's a bolt that goes in here that kind of came loose in shipping. We'll put that back on. So that's for the angle here. So you can tighten that down. So this looks like it has GPS antenna up here. So to unlock it, you'll rotate this and you can see the suction cup here. When you rotate it up, this will suck down. So like that. So you'll peel the plastic off before you connect it to your windshield. And there's a pull tab for removing it. So this will connect up to the camera here. There's a piece of plastic we need to remove. And it has those contacts on there because it has the GPS antenna in there. So we'll slide that in. So that's connected in. It should be ready to go. So let's get this set up. Now you can set this up in your car, but for sake of making the video, I'm going to do it on my bench here. It's just easier to see. Then I will install it in the car and test it there. But I have a portable power station here that has a 12-volt socket similar to how a car would have. And I'm going to set this up on my iPad for the app. So I'm on the App Store. This is the app. I'll hit get and I'll download it. I'll hit open. So I created an account and logged in. It says add camera. So it says install the camera and power it on. So I'm going to do that. So I have DC power here. I'll plug into the camera and it powered on. It's asking what language. It says English. I'll say okay. Wants the time or the time zone. Not sure what it is right now. I'm guessing I can fix that later. So I have the camera on. I'll hit next on the app. So I want to connect to the Wi-Fi access point that is on this. That's going to be on the label that was on the back. So I did have to go into the camera and turn the Wi-Fi on. So I've connected to the hotspot on the camera. I'll hit add camera. I'll hit next. So then I'll go back into the app and it will connect to the camera automatically. So here we go. Looks like a fairly simple app. Looks to be pretty responsive too. So we have a record, snapshot, we have camera settings. Let's connect up the rear camera. Now that we have both cameras on here, we can hit this button here to switch between the two. The files will be downloaded here when it records. So we can see the different files. So if you have an incident, you can go back here and look through these for the files. Let's go to the camera settings. So we have some different settings here. We can turn off sound recording. We can change the speaker volume. Here we have the video resolution. We can do 2 or 4K. Has loop recording options. So we have 1, 3, or 5 minutes. So this is going to record in 1-minute increments. Once it fills the card up, it's just going to remove the oldest clips. This talks about speed units. We have miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So let's go back. So if we want to take a snapshot, we'll hit the snapshot button. We'll capture that. If we want to record, we can hit that or pause. It was already recording. And we can find that in our camera files. So here's the snapshot we just took. So that seems pretty straightforward. Now if we look on the camera itself, we can press the M button and we have a menu where we can change some of those same settings. Then to get out of the menu, we'll just press M. Then we have the playback mode, is the one that looks like kind of a piece of paper. We'll hit that. So I accidentally hit the power on the other side. And here we can go down through the videos and play them. Let's go up one. So here we can play the video. Of course, this is just me in my studio here. So we'll close out of here. And actually, if we want to turn it off, we can press the power button. That turns the screen off. Now we can hold it down to turn the whole thing off. So that was a little demo on my bench here. I'm going to get this set up in my car so we can test it out on the road. Okay, so I have this installed in the car. I don't have the wires completely routed, but you can use different techniques to attach it to the windshield. And you can peel trim back and run it around. So it's plugged in down here. You can see I have that USB port available to charge a phone. Here I have the rear camera mounted. Now it's currently pointed to the sky because it's pointed up in my hatch. So when I put the hatch down, I had to adjust it to make sure it was at the right level. Now when you mount this wire, you can mount it to the glass or in the plastic. You just want to make sure you have enough slack so when your hatch is open that it doesn't pull too tight. So this is forward facing and it says north. If I press down here, we can see rear facing. If I press it again, we can see both. So I'm going to take this on a drive now and capture some footage, and I'll share it when I get back. Okay, so I've gone on my ride. We're in the app. I'll go ahead and hit on storage, and here we can see the different clips. So I can click on a thumbnail. Here we can see the video here. We can see direction, speed, and I'll click on the next one. And here's the rear camera. So I'll find a couple of these clips and I'll insert them raw into this video so you can see them in their native form. So that's the TERUNSOUL dual 4K dash camera. I found this very easy to set up and use. You insert the SD card, plug it into power, mount it in your car, and it's pretty much ready to go. Now there are configuration settings you can adjust, but right out of the box it works as a dash camera. Now you can use the controls on it to view your videos. You can use the app or you can just take the SD card out and put it in a computer. So it's very versatile in that respect. If you have an incident that occurs, you can press this little lock button and it will lock the video so it doesn't get overwritten. That can make it a lot more helpful to manage your files, but for the most part, you get this set up and you just leave it until there's an incident, and otherwise you don't have to do anything. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.